welcome back, watch fans. We got an exciting episode for you today. We're going to be talking about the minefield of Patek Philippe. What a lot of what yeah, Patek Philippe has developed this brand reputation, which is not 100% deserved. It's not. When people hear Patek Philippe, they think, "Wow, high horology masterpieces." Great watches, the best. They think Patek Philippe is the best. The reality is, Patek Philippe has released many, many dogs. It's a minefield of barking dogs. Let me just give you one example before we get into it, which is, of course, the Neptune. The Neptune, the dumpster fire of Patek Philippe. Um, Horrible watches. Now, this is just we're just scratching the surface. We're really just scratching the surface of the dumpster fires in the Patek range. But here's the thing, guys. If you wanna really build a serious collection, you want to have watches that you know increase in value, watches that let's face it. You want to have something that is respectable, right? You don't want to have a dumpster fire on your wrist. You don't want to have a shitter on the wrist. And it's very easy with Patek Philippe if you are not careful to end up with a dog with fleas. This is actually the ladies' Neptune. But look, I'm just showing you the Neptune to show you what kind of disasters Patek Philippe is capable of. Now, you know what? Look, this is actually, this of course is this is the annual calendar, right? That's the excuse me, not the annual. This is the whatever. It's like the 5712. The calendar, the moon phase, right? And this watch was such a disaster. I remember actually when this watch first came out. I mean, what a dog with fleas. And of course, it's exactly the same movement as the 5712 Nautilus, right? How was it that the 5712, that the Nautilus, is such a popular watch, and this thing was a dog, right? Same exact movement. Well, the design is ugly. It's a dog, right? The design makes a big difference with these watches, and sure enough, that's what happens when you follow ArchieLuxury, you follow the ArchieLuxury channel. You end up. I've said this before, guys. The quality of your life is basically determined by the people you surround yourself with, right? Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. It's an expression. It's actually 100% true. When you hang around the Archieverse, you end up basically building a collection of shitters. Now, recently, I don't want to embarrass anybody. But one of the punters in the Archie world, in the Archieverse. He saw that the Colonel, has the superior perpetual calendar, the 3940G, also known as the top G. And, this young man, obviously, look, he's got aspirations of being a serious collector. He wants that perpetual, but he ends up, what does he do? He buys the wrong watch. Why? Because he didn't listen to the Colonel. He was drinking the ArchieLuxury Kool-Aid, and he bought a shitter. Now, guys, let me show you first the shitter that was bought by this gentleman. Let me see if I can find. By the way, look, I'm showing you some of the nasty Patek perpetual calendars. It's very easy to make a mistake, a critical mistake that'll destroy your collection and destroy your net worth. Like this watch right here is a complete dumpster fire. But wait, it gets even worse. It gets much, much worse. Hello, Albert. Send money now. That's right, guys. Send money now to keep democracy alive. Now, look, let me show you this. It actually gets worse. This is pretty bad, right? Because look, everybody knows the Patek Philippe perpetual calendar that's their ultimate watch. It really is, right? It is their ultimate watch. But it's very easy to make a mistake because people they make compromises. The Archie universe is filled with people making compromises. They just it's not even a question of money. It's really not a question of money. It's a question of having taste and having knowledge, or you can end up with an absolute shitter. Now, this actually is not the worst. No, this is actually pretty bad. This is pretty bad. But let me show you what one of these tomato cans, let me show you what one of these tomato cans bought. I'm actually, because again, what I'm doing right now is I'm scrolling up price. I'm going up the ladder, the price ladder. Now, by the way, it doesn't take, I mean, obviously, yeah, it does take money, but there is watches, perpetuals in the Patek range that are actually undervalued. This actually is one of them. The 5140R is bronze or chocolate dial, rose gold. It's a stunning watch. I'm going to get back to this later. This actually is one of the sleepers in the Patek range. You don't need to spend 80 grand on a perpetual calendar. Yeah, sure, the 3940G is the top G, but yeah, there are plenty of watches out there. Now, let me show you the tomato can watch. Let me show you the watch that one of the ArchieLuxury peasants bought in the mistakes. In the mistake, you know, again, this young man, I should say, this young gentleman wanted to be a Patek perpetual. He wanted to be in the perpetual club, but what happens? What happens? What happens? Well, what happens is he drinks the ArchieLuxury Kool-Aid, and he ends up with this shitter. That's right. This is one of the modern shitters of Patek Philippe. I'm going to explain to you why. I'm going to explain to you exactly why. This is, of course, the what is this? I don't even want to know these reference numbers because it's so disgusting. The 5320, right? 5320. This actually comes in a salmon dial also. Now, let me explain to you what is wrong with this watch in just a second. Hang on a second. Let me just see if any of the punters want to join. Now, look, this channel is very, very controversial. It's very controversial. It's not for everybody. All right. So we tell you the truth. This channel is all about the truth. And by the way, we also have a great website, the Watch Reporter website. That's right, the watchreporter.com website. And of course, we have our free weekly newsletter. Now, you know what I'm going to do before I get into this? I'm going to play you a quick intro. Make sure right now to upvote, like, and subscribe. Okay, here's a quick intro, and we'll be... There you go, gentlemen. That is what our channel and what our website is all about. Now, when you subscribe to our free newsletter, click that link in the video description below to get the newsletter. You're going to know how to build a great collection, how to build a collection that increases in value, and how not to lose money by buying, you know, tomato can watches. You know, don't be a crayon eater and a Windex drinker. That's what the ArchieLuxury people. They're window lickers and crayon eaters and tomato cans. And they buy shitters like this. Again, dumpster fire on the wrist. Now, what's wrong with this watch? Okay, this is part of what I call the new modern age of disaster for Patek Philippe, the Thierry Stern era, which is shitter watches. You know, this guy, he has questionable taste. I'll be honest, I think he's a nice guy. I don't know him well. But look, you know, historically, you know, family businesses, you know, they say shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves in 3 generations. You know, the grandfather starts the business, the son really builds it up, and then the grandson comes in and, you know, destroys the whole thing. And that's what's going on with Patek, I believe. You know, Philippe Stern was really the guy that put the company on the map. The guy had impeccable taste, and he released some great watches. And, you know, the Nautilus, the 3940, all this great stuff. And what is Thierry Stern doing? Again, I'm sorry. I hate to be, you know, I'm just keeping it real, guys. Okay, I'm sure the guy's a nice guy, but he's going in the wrong direction. He's they got the wrong people in the design. Okay, they're using the wrong people in design. Now I understand this thing where you want to go slightly bigger. I get it. There was a thing. Of course, these guys start doing bigger sizes, you know, 15 years too late, right? Like, collectors started gravitating towards bigger watches, circa 2004 or 5, it was already, in full, full throttle. I remember when, one of my employees, this tomato can, walked in with a Panerai this must have been the year 2000 or 2001, maybe 2000 or early 2000s. Okay. So this kid bought a Panerai. I mean, listen, we were paying big money in commissions, right? So I had guys making, a couple $100,000 a year in their 20s. And this is like 20 years ago, right? 25 years ago. So yeah. By the way, listen, anybody who's worked for me or done business with me has always made a lot of money. I've made people very wealthy. This is a fact. Okay. Anybody who gets involved with me makes money. Okay. I've made people multimillionaires. All right. And anyway, so this kid first he buys a Yachtmaster, which was the early Yachtmaster, which is kind of a dog, but whatever. Then he buys this Panerai. I'm looking at this watch. What the fuck is this? The Panerai. I never liked the Panerai. And sure enough, I told everybody this is a fucking dog. Nobody believed me. And sure enough, now, it took a while, but there you go. Anyway, look, Patek should have jumped on this bandwagon of bigger watches in 2005, 2010. When did they start doing bigger watches? Only like in the last 5 years. So they're late to the party. And what do? They start releasing basically like the versions of like an Audemars Piguet Coda 1159. How big is this watch? This is a 40 millimeter watch, right? 40 millimeters. These lug. Now, here's my problem with the watch. Here's my problem. Number one is, I don't want to say because the big size. There's nothing wrong. The size, I think it's a little too big for Patek. It might be a little too big, but again, I do get it. The issue is the design of the watch. They're doing this retro style watch. Again, I hate these retro tribute bullshit watches, they try to do this old fashioned looking thing in the year 2021 when did this watch come out? 2022. It's the last couple of years, right? This watch would have looked fine in the 1940s. And yeah, those needle hands, syringe hands, whatever the fuck you call them, it's based on a watch from the 1940s or what is it? Whatever, some 40s, early 50s, whatever the fuck it was, right? But these actually came out worse because the needle is extended. The whole thing is just sloppy. They're giving it this vintage look, this kind of old-timey grandpa look with this, cream colored dial, which just looks bad. It looks bad. You know what? Why does it look? Because it's sort of like, guys, why is Ford not putting out Model T Fords today? Why are they not putting out a Model T Ford? Why are they not putting out 1950s cars? Why isn't Chevy putting out that cars with the tail fins and all that shit, right? I mean, it was beautiful, right? The 57 Chevy, whatever it was, what was it called? The one with the tail fins, the Cadillacs with the big tail fins. Those cars were very cool in their time. Yeah, sure. It really was. It really was. They look magnificent, right? But why are they not doing it today? Because we're in a different era, right? You got to live in your era, right? Now, Coda 1159 from Audemars Piguet, they get it. They get it. And now the Coda 1159, the Code watches, they have some issues, but they're at least they're evolving in the right direction. This watch is a complete dumpster fire. Okay, look at these lugs. They got these like Art Deco type lugs, these stepped up lugs, which again, it's what are we in the 1930s? Come on, guys, we're not in the 1930s. You got all these different design elements. You got. I'm not going to say anything about deploying class because again, they should be doing butterflies at this point, but. Again, they're not, but whatever. Look, again, they got, nothing special in the back. I mean, God, this is like, by the way, this guy, the tomato can who bought this watch, he said, oh, yeah, I want a decorated movement. I want a decorated movement. Now, look at this. This is what he's got in the back. He's got this tomato can movement. Literally, this is made of Neapolitan recycled tomato cans. Nothing special in the back. 56 grand. I mean, it's a fucking joke, right? Look at this. I mean, it's a dumpster fire. Why? Patek Philippe. Okay, let me explain to you something, gentlemen. Patek Philippe is all about elegance. Okay, for when you talk about best of breed, you want the watch that the brand is known for. Okay, now, let me show you. Let me point out a few pretty nice examples. This is actually a beautiful watch. Okay, this is the, how do we make this bigger? Okay, this is the 5140p, the perpetual, right? It's about 38 millimeter, no, 30, what did they make it? 30, whatever. It's a bigger size. Okay. It's like, I think almost like a 37, 8.5, whatever it is. This, listen, you know, the classic size for men's watches has always been around 36 millimeter. People with big wrists don't make excuses about the big wrist stuff. Okay. These guys with I got a big wrist. Oh, I need a, no, you're a tomato can. Okay. You know, people with huge wrists have always worn 36 millimeter watches, okay? Day dates, whatever it was, right? Thierry Stern, I think, has a pretty big wrist. He wears a 3940, right? Excuse me, not Thierry, Philippe. Okay, this watch, bad picture, great watch. This is what it's all about, classical elegance, okay? This is actually not bad either, right? I have a couple of issues with this watch, actually. I'll explain to you what they are. This is the Patek Perpetual on the bracelet. My issue with the bracelet, it's got like a screw-in thing that you don't really see there, but at the base there's a bit of a screw-in thing, which is a little bit annoying, but you know, I guess you can kind of deal with it if the price is cheap enough. And what's cool about this is you can wear this, you know, in the summer, you know, on a leather strap, you know, you're going to sweat, you know, though it's going to be nasty. This is actually okay. And this, you know, it'll look modern, especially if you do it in white gold. Now, again, Patek Philippe is all about elegance. It's about elegance, okay? Here's another 5140. It's about elegance. And if we're talking about perpetual, you do want to have the rotary dials. Now, this one is not, again, this is not as well executed as the 3940, which I'm going to show you in just a second. We're scrolling down because, yeah, you're going to have to pay up for the 3940. That's right. You got to pay to play, my friends. You got to pay to play. But let's see how to look at this. By the way, the 3940s are going up in price. That's why, there we go. Look, over here, this is the look. That is what you want. When you're talking to Patek Philippe perpetual calendar, this is the watch, okay? Bottom line, period, end of story. Everything else is a compromise, okay? Everything else is a compromise. Now, we got Frank V, you know, big macho man, 6'3". So the guy's like a miniature. This guy's a miniature. He's like a little puppy dog. Mammoth wrists. Now, again, you know, it's an American thing. It's a whole American concept about, oh, I got to wear big watches. I got to wear a He-Man watch, you know, on the leather. You know, no, my friend, listen. A 36 millimeter. The problem is you've been living in America too long, okay? 36 millimeters, nothing wrong with wearing it. You're used to wearing, you know, massive watches that are oversized, sloppy watches. When you actually wear a 36 proper watch on the wrist, you're going to get, you know, you'll get used to it. You'll realize, wow, this is a proper watch. 5227. I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna have to look it up because, again, I don't keep track of these reference numbers. Let me see what kind of shitter this is. What is this shitter? Let me see. Now, you know this is going to be a dog. 5227? What is that? The Calatrava? Wait a minute. Are you talking about this piece of shit? Wait, hold on a second. How big is this watch? What's 39 millimeter? Okay. I'll tell you what's wrong with this watch right now. I'll tell you why this is a piece of shit. When you're talking about Calatrava, again, it's about elegance. Now, by the way, 39 millimeter is fine. It's fine, okay? The problem I have is this date window. The date window is horrible. The date window should not be on a Calatrava, okay? You want to have a simple two-hander. You don't even want a second hand unless it's that little sub-dial, which is, you know, kind of okay. This is garbage. This is garbage. Let me show you a proper Calatrava. By the way, Calatrava is a great watch. You know, I have no issues with a Calatrava. Again, you got the older models. Classic two-hander. By the way, this watch is timeless. This is a 19. No, this is not. This is like a 1950s watch. I got the wrong info on here. But okay, this actually is pretty cool. The gray dial, white gold, with the with it's got a little sub dial for the seconds. It's okay because it's a sub dial. That's actually cool. You got the dolphin hands. Okay, you want those dolphin hands. Okay, you got to have the dolphin hands on this watch. 39 millimeter. And by the way, it wears large because those lugs are huge, right? It's a beautiful watch. It's a beautiful, beautiful watch. You know, now this is a watch that the Colonel himself, that's right, yours truly had this watch. Horrible picture, by the way. Horrible, horrible picture. And this is I think I had this watch, right? It was a manual wind. Manual wind. And wow, this is crazy. Now, I paid $4,000 for this watch in 1998. This is my first Patek Philippe. Actually, I told a story a couple times. I bought it as a package deal. My first Rolex and my first Patek came as a package deal. I bought a package for $6,000, $6,200 actually, if I'm not mistaken. It was a Datejust with the oyster with Roman numerals, and this watch. And this watch was a beautiful watch, great watch. I ended up selling it for like this price, $6,200, like I think in 2003, because I thought I stopped wearing watches. I thought, wow, everybody's going to start using their cell phone. Everybody started using cell phones to tell time. And I thought, wow, I better dump all my watches before the prices collapse. And I was wrong. The watch market actually took off. Sometimes you make mistakes. Hang on a second. Let me just show you something really cool. Something absolutely insane. I just noticed this. You got a Patek Philippe Tiffany dial quartz shitter. This is like a garbage watch, but whatever. You don't want this. But it's you got it's a Tiffany dial. Oh, it's a Tiffany dial. You got all these pikers. It's a nice looking watch, no? Nice watch. Perpetual. What year is this? This is like 37 millimeter. It's okay. It's okay. It's 37 millimeter, whatever. Anyway, listen. This tomato can distracted me. Let me go back to the Patek Philippe perpetual calendar. Listen. It's what happens when you're dealing with peasants. When you're dealing with peasants on these channels who are not even members of the channel, they're not even barons. You get distracted. You want the classic. Again, Patek Philippe is all about elegance, okay? Elegance, not like stupid modern bullshit like the Code 1159. By the way, I have nothing against, more modernist type of design, whatever, as long as it's done well. Patek has an issue with that. They really do. They have some bad designers. I'm telling you guys, they have some bad designers there. Otherwise, how else could you explain a piece of shit like this? How else can you explain the piece of shit like this I'm looking at right here, right? Look at this. Who let this watch? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Look, Audemars Piguet, the Code 1159, it's a scam, right? They're using that to like suck people in, to get them to buy that in order to get the, the watch they really want, which is the Royal Oak. But listen, the Code 1159 Perpetual, I'm going to show you this. I'm just going to pull this up real quick just so you guys see. I have nothing against modernity, right? This is the Code 1159, and it's actually not a bad looking watch. It's very modern. I mean, it's got a lot going on there. Let me show you this side. Okay, look at the case. I mean, it's a little busy. They're going to get it right in a couple of years. Then within a few years, they're going to get they need a couple more iterations of this, and it'll be good. This is not going to be seen as a good watch, but they're going you see, they're going in the right direction at least. Okay, it's a clean modern watch, a nylon strap, whatever. Okay, I have nothing against this watch. I mean, would I buy this? No, fuck no. But they're going in a kind of in a direction. Now, let me show you something. If you want a Patek Perpetual, you can get started for like $35,000. I'm pulling this up over here. This watch is actually not a dog. People may think it's a dog. It's actually not. This actually is undervalued. It's a sleeper right now. And you should be able to get one of these for maybe low 30s. You got a black dial, white gold, okay? You got the hobnail, which is actually a classic Patek design motif. The size is 38 millimeter. And it wears big. It's going to wear big because of the lugs. This is actually a beautiful dial. It's highly legible because of the white on black. It makes it very legible. You got nice big markers. It's a good looking watch. Now the hands, I'm not crazy about the hands, to be honest. I don't like these sword hands or whatever they call them. I don't really like it that much. It's a decent watch. If I can get this for, I mean, I wouldn't buy this, but for 30 grand, you're not going to go wrong. Now again, 5140. This is not as good. Again, this is not as good. This yellow gold 5140. That's the wrong version. But let's take a look here. Let's take a looky see. Now, this is a proper watch. Again, you got the hobnail. Actually, this is interesting. So this is the 3940 sister watch. It's the hobnail version of the 3940, right? So you get the dolphin hands, which are beautiful, by the way. That's the proper hands, dolphin hands. You got the subdials. You got the recessed little, you got like, stadium seating. Stunning watch. Absolutely stunning. But it's the classic size. It's like 36 millimeter. Maybe, what is it? It's 36. Yeah, 36 millimeter. Caserta. It's in Italy. Yeah, look, the Italians know, right? So, and again, watching, you can probably pick this up for 35 G's. The prices are going up, okay? They are going up. Or again, 5140R is, I think, a great looking watch. Look at this. The bronze, chocolate dial, sunburst. It's an amazing watch. You know what it is? A lot of people, they're just not used to it. The Patek collectors, they're just not used to it. They're not used to it. Yeah, it was. I don't want to mention any names, but we know that it was a tomato can on the ArchieLuxury channel. That is made a bad mistake because he drank the Archie Kool-Aid. He drank the Archie Kool-Aid. Should we show the video? Should we show the video? Should we be mean? I don't know should we be mean. Let's see what the punters say. Should we show the unboxing video, the dumpster fire unboxing? Should we show that video? I don't know if I should be mean. We're trying to be kinder and gentler on this channel. Okay. So again, dumpster fire. Okay, dumpster fire watch. Avoid. Why? You got seconds. You got. By the way, I hate these aperture windows. I really do. They're nasty. They're vicious and nasty. Now these little whatever they call these little chocolate shaped watches. I like the shape of the watch. I really do like the shape of the watch. I just can't get into the Breguet numerals. It looks too oldie-timey for me. I want something clean and modern, okay? I want clean and modern. That's why I stick with the 3940G, the top G, okay? By the way, this watch is also, look at this bezel. Nasty and vicious bezel. Avoid this bezel. Nasty. I don't have anything against this Roman dial. It could be okay for the right person. But again, I'm just showing you guys that Patek Philippe is capable of putting out shitter watches and, foisting them on to the punters. Again, you got a beautiful watch over here. You got a Patek Perpetual blue dial. You can't see it in the picture. It's a stunning blue dial. Let me show you guys. Let me show you this. Let me show you a couple of other nasty shitters. By the way, this actually is not bad. It's not bad. I'll tell you why it's not bad. Okay, so you got a second hand over here, which is, you know, I'm against second hands on these perpetuals. Again, it's too busy. You don't need a second hand if you have a perpetual calendar because it means you're a big picture guy. You don't need to be worried about seconds. 39.5 millimeters. It's a big watch, platinum with a salmon dial. Now, you got a retrograde calendar. Again, I'm not crazy, but it is an interesting complication. The retrograde, whatever. You got the retrograde calendar, and you get the aperture windows. You got the date windows for, the day and the month, which I don't like it. I don't really like it, but this does harken back to a classic design. They are kind of using one of their, they're kind of using some elements of classic design. So it's not bad. It's not bad. If somebody buys that watch, I can understand it. I can understand it. Like, if they buy it, it's not a great watch, but I understand it. What is this? I don't even know what's going on over here. This is weird. I've never seen this. It's so weird. Like, it might be actually okay. You're mixing like yellow and white. I think somebody put in a dial and hand. I don't know what's going on here. But, I kind of get it because what they're doing is they're copying a classical design, which I'm going to show you. I keep forgetting these reference numbers that they have. Actually, I shouldn't say I keep free. I just don't really care about. I really don't care about the reference numbers. Okay, I'm too busy. I'm too busy and too important to think about their stupid reference numbers. So again, this is the big watch. If you need to insist, oh, I gotta have a 40 millimeter watch. Okay, there you go. So here's what's okay with it. You got this retrograde calendar. Okay, the dolphin hands. Okay, the dolphin hands, the classical shape of the case. It's a little big. I can't wear this. It's too big for me. It's like almost like a 40 millimeter. The lugs are ridiculous. You got this guy with a big peasant wrist showing you this watch. But it's an interesting complication. Whatever. I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about it. Hang on a second. Let me show you this here. Let's take a look. Look, it's not. I mean, it's actually. I gotta tell you, this is actually kind of growing on me. Again, not a watch I would ever buy, but if I saw somebody wearing this, I would say, "Wow, this guy's got some style." Like you got a retrograde perpetual, you got this kind of, I don't know what you call it, salmon with a platinum. It's a cool look with that. And that strap is beautiful, by the way. It really makes the watch that like brown, chocolate brown, like light brown, nougat, I think they call it. What's the color of this dial? What do they call this? Is it brown? I don't know what it looks cool. It actually does look kind of cool. But again, it's the dolphin hands. Okay, the hands. It's all about the hands. Look, you see this difference? You see the difference? You got these stupid syringe hands with these stupid, 1930s Arabic date. Like, what the fuck is that all about? Like, the breguet. Look at these. Look at the watch in the middle versus those watches side by side, and you can see. Okay, so what happens when you're a tomato can? When you're a tomato can, you end up. This is anybody who watches ArchieLuxury ends up with a tomato can watch, right? Now, let me show you the. Okay, hang on a second. Let me scroll down. Let's go to the. What's the? Okay, I'm gonna go high to low. Okay, I'm gonna go high to low. Okay, just to show you what Patek is capable of at the high end, right? Patek Perpetual. Now, oh shit, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Okay. So this model, this is the unibrow, I think they call it, with this blue dial. One of the ugliest watches. Look at these hands. They're so ugly and so basic. This basic bitch watch. It's selling below retail, but look at this. This one has a Tiffany dial and some tomato can in England, of course. He's trying to scam people, trying to offer this at $1 million because he's got a Tiffany dial. Again, this is what Patek is doing because of the new direction under Thierry Stern. This unibrow thing, it's a disaster. It's a disaster, okay? It's a disaster. It's a hot mess. Like these guys, they don't know what to do themselves. They really don't. Hang on a second. I'm looking for the, I'm going to talk, okay. The 3450, okay. Now this is the classic. The 3450, I think the 3448, is that the word? Okay. The 3450 is the perpetual calendar that was put out under, Philippe Stern. As you can see, you got the calendar going around in a circle. You got the aperture window, whatever. It's a thing they were doing because, I don't know, whatever. You got these dolphin hands, which are absolutely beautiful. The watch, I mean, that's the way the watch actually looks. It's an amazing, this is the blue chip of Patek Philippe. This vintage watch, if you can get one for like $250, $300. If you can get this, it's a blue chip. Okay, this is the blue chip of the Patek range. It's the one to get. It's just going to keep increasing. It's going to be $1 million watch at some point. The way it looks it's a bigger watch also. It's like a 38 millimeter. But the way it looks with the design of the case, it is a vintage. It's a retro where it's a vintage watch. I mean, that's the way they looked. Very elegant. Look, it's the minimalist. There's nothing sloppy, nothing extra. The bezel is a little bit wide. It's a little bit wider than I would like, which makes it a scratch magnet. But, it's the price you pay to be an aristocrat. That's the price you got to pay. It's the price you got to pay. Look at that. Wow. Now, it's a full set. Okay. Now, I think it's the Patek 3448, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there you go, the 3448. Oh, my God. This is it, guys. This is the class. I mean, again, this is slightly, this is the earlier version. And I guess that's what, Patek is doing now. It's what they're releasing now with, but, they're trying to modernize it. But they're doing stupid hands. They're doing stupid shit. Why don't they just copy this design? Maybe make it a little bit, I don't know, do something a little different, whatever. It'd be okay. This is a timeless, classic, elegant design. It looked good 50 years ago. It'll look good 50 years from now. This is it. Okay? This is it. Look at this. It's it's a little bit chubby. This case is a little bit chubby. Right? I mean, it definitely has a presence on the wrist. I mean, it's not a Submariner, but it's gonna sit up a little bit. What is it, 37, 38 millimeter? It's about 38 millimeter, yeah. Unbelievable, right? But again, the real watch, again, anybody that wants a Patek Perpetual today, look, you got, let me show you the unibrow. Oh, it's a fucking horrible watch. Horrible. Oh, now, so the other problem is the chronograph. Now, what is the issue with the chronograph? So, okay, I have a special dispensation that, thank you. I have a special dispensation. I could give a dispensation for the chronograph only because, I understand there was a thing. It's a high complication. Who the fuck needs a chronograph? Nobody needs a chronograph. Okay, nobody. Does anybody use a chronograph? No. Do I use a perpetual? I think I love the perpetual complication because it tells me, the time, where I am, etc. Chronograph, I mean, do you need to know to the split second? Nobody really uses it. So it's a show off. It's a show off thing, right? It's a thing for tomato cans. You know who buys a Patek chronograph is basically a guy like a Bangladeshi. It's like a Bangladeshi migrant like Patek Philippe. That's who buys this. I gotta say, it's actually, in this one, it's like a good looking watch. Like, just like, okay, it's a cool looking watch. I get it. The problem is the perpetual complication is lost because the dial is so busy. But I get it. I kind of get it that it's like whatever. It's an extra thing, and they do have a history. I'm not really that familiar with the modern chronograph. I don't really follow it. I just find them to be too busy. But historically, yeah, they do have. They are a special watch. The historic ones, right? I think it's a little too busy. It's like it's like a tomato can watch. You want a chronograph? Put on a Daytona. Okay, that's best of breed. Again, what we talk about on this channel is building a collection for best of breed watches, right? You want to have, if you're talking about chronograph, it's a Daytona, okay, or there's some other similar watch, like Zenith also had some good ones, Universal Genève, okay. If you're talking perpetual, it's got to be this watch. Subdial is like a 3940 or the 5140. That's it, okay? Or, hang on a second. Let's see, should we go to the, hang on a second. Guys, hang on a second. Should we show, should we be mean? Should we be mean to Kelso? Should we be mean and show the unboxing, the epic unboxing? Again, but the thing with these unboxing videos is, who does it egregiously is that that Watch Colony, which is the groomer channel. It's a bunch of closet or homosexuals who are um, they use the whole watch thing as a means to basically it's like a circle jerk. These things are kind of like circle jerks. They're circle jerks for peasant circle jerks is what I call them. Okay, guys. So here we're gonna show you this epic disaster. This is what happens when you drink the ArchieLuxury Kool-Aid. You end up with making a shitter watch mistake. Now, okay. Now, by the way, in this guy's defense, I do have. Okay, so hang on. I do have to say that this tomato can. Oh, he's showing this guy. Okay. So this tomato can, he actually did something which actually was good. He traded in for this shitter. He traded in, some garbage Rolex. I shouldn't say garbage. What is it? The Sprite, not the Sprite. What is it? The Starbucks and. And he had a horrible, by the way, before this, he had a horrible Patek weekly calendar, which I told him was a disaster. And he kept denying it until he realized it is a disaster. Now, here he is with a watch on his wrist. And the watch actually looks a little bit too big. Look at it. The watch. Look at this. It looks too big on this guy's wrist. It's a 40 millimeter. I mean, this guy has a 7-inch wrist. That's what he says. And look at the way the lugs are like, I mean, it's already like going over the edges of the wrist. So it's too big for again, he's one of these stupid Americans. It's like he's one of these like people in LA. It's like these white people in LA who these wonder bread people in LA, not to be racist or anything, but they all have very bland taste. If you want to have the worst Mexican food of your life, here's my thing. If I go into a Mexican restaurant and there's white people working there, I leave because I know the food is going to be bad. If you go to a Mexican restaurant like in some of the worst fish tacos I had were in Solana Beach, which is very wealthy area. Solana, near Del Mar, right? Newport Beach, a very ultra wealthy area in California, right? Some of the worst food you'll ever eat in your life. Very bland, right? These Wonder Bread, they have no taste, right? So This guy Kessler, he's got no taste. He buys this bland watch. Yeah, let me tell you, the horrible watch. Anyway, so very bland, because these Americans, they got no taste. They keep listening to these. Oh, it's got to be 40 millimeter. Oh, it's got to be, because look, you can't be a real man unless you're wearing a big watch. You know, they listen to this John Wayne bullshit. You know, so the only smart thing is he traded in a couple of shitters. He traded in that garbage weekly calendar watch. I'm going to show you that watch. It's a horrible watch. And you know, so he got he dodged a bullet. He dodged a bullet. Hang on, weekly. Oof. Okay, so this is the dog. This is the dog that this guy had. This is the horrible disaster that Kessler had. And I told him it was a dog, and he kept denying it, and then he finally realized it, right? I mean, you know, this could be it could be okay if the theory has promise, except that the fonts are ugly. They got a date window which is horrible. It's a disaster. The execution is horrible, and they got a second hand. I mean, it's a hot mess. It's a dumpster fire. So at least he got rid of that. Now, he got rid of that, and the tomato can. Okay, he's showing you this book. Look at this. He bought the Patek book, right? Okay. I mean, look, I feel bad because this guy is obviously, you know, he's trying, right? He's earnest. He's trying. But the problem is he's drinking the Archie Ladyboy juice. He's drinking the Archie Kool-Aid. And look at the tomato cans. You got 6 tomato cans on this panel here. All these guys have horrible watches, except for, you know, actually look, the Brando guy, old Brando as they call him. I don't know why he calls himself young. This guy's like about 80 years old. So old Brando actually has style. He really does. I respect old Brando's style. He has some interesting watches, not stuff that I would wear, but I respect his taste. I mean, it's like, I get it. You know, for him, it works, you know, whatever, it works. So he actually is the only guy in that group who has good taste. All these other guys, I mean, he's surrounded by tomato cans. You got this guy, JJ, who wears a baseball cap indoors. You got another elderly tomato can who wears a baseball cap. You got this guy, Duco, who's, I don't know. This guy lives in Louisiana. He's like probably having intimate relations with farm animals. You know, whatever. You got I don't know this guy. Whatever. And then you got this guy at the bottom. This guy Smash or something, who also wears the baseball cap indoors. I mean, really, you don't want to take advice, guys. Don't take advice. Don't take fashion advice from people who wear baseball caps indoors. Okay, because that's all you got. That's all you need to know. That is all you need to know, my friends. Now, let's go back to. Hang on a second. Let's continue with this dumpster fire. So he did trade in. He got rid of some shitters, which is okay. He got rid of some shitters, and okay, hold on. Wait, this is great. Okay. So hang on, let me see. This is funny. This is hilarious. So it's hilarious because so he bought the watch from Happy Jewelers. Now, by the way, I think the watch, I don't think it's a horrible watch. It's kind of a dead money watch, meaning that it's dead money for the next, like, that watch will never increase in value. It's basically going to kind of like slowly drift down in price. It's gonna be like a quicksand watch. You're gonna be slowly losing money because it's got a big size. People who don't know any better, Patek is relying on people who don't know any better to buy that watch, and there's still enough of them out there. They think, oh, I got to buy that modern watch, the big size. So anyway, so this tomato can Kelso goes to Happy Jewelers. He gets his clock cleaned by these guys, but he thinks he got this great deal. He tells you about his great negotiating. Oh, but they gave me extras. I got him to give me extras. You know what they gave him? Watches. They gave him they gave him cleaning cloths. They gave him cleaning cloths. You know these polishing, what do you call them? These wiping cloths. They gave him 6 wiping cloths, which are about 50 cents. Okay, and they gave him. Well, what else did they give him? Hang on. They gave him. Hang on.
So
they gave him these
there's been
cleaning
a major
cloths, little
consolidation,
pouches,
boys. We're down to a
Duco, have a good one.
piece.
Thanks for coming on.
made in
Duco's
China.
gonna jump.
These guys
Duco,
are
have a good one,
Good
Duco.
bro.
See you later.
You got
Congrats, man.
6
Beautiful,
guys in a
great
circle
deal.
jerk. Now look at this. They gave him. Look at this guy with a dirty Sanchez mustache. Now, okay, so they gave him some cleaning cloths. They gave him some cleaning cloths, and they gave him. Just basically garbage, some made in China garbage, and he's so happy. I mean, these guys, come on. I think these guys are like Armenian, right? These guys are like Armenian or something. And listen, guys, the Armenians are great salesmen. It's like, they're sort of, I'm not sure who's better, the Persians or the Armenians. I mean, I think the Armenians are slicker. I mean, it's like, you're not going to know what's coming. And so this guy got tomato canned. Okay, Wonder Bread Boy goes down to Orange County, gets tomato canned by the Armenians. But okay, now let me do a quick review of this collection here. I would say he went from having a horrible collection. He had that annual weekly, which is a disaster, and what else? He had something else, which was actually an okay watch. He had the Submariner. What it was? He had too many, but. Now it's just a boring collection. But I do respect that he's down to 3 watches, and I understand where he's going. You got a perpetual, although it's the wrong perpetual. You got this GMT, he drank the Kool-Aid about the Rolex GMT instead of getting a proper dual time, like a JLC or whatever, or another GMT, whatever. He drank the Kool-Aid. He drank the Batman Kool-Aid. The Batman, the homoerotic Batman action. Again, this guy is he's probably in the closet. Now, and then he's got the Explorer, which I call the now that is the watch. That's the Illuminati watch. That's the watch for the peasants. That's the watch. When you wear that watch, it means you're a slave of the Illuminati, right? I don't know. What do you guys think of this collection? Leave your nasty and vicious comments below. What do you punters think? We got a couple punters on here. What do you nasty and vicious punters think of this collection? So I would definitely. I don't know why he kept that Explorer. I mean, this is a piece of garbage. Why do you need to have this watch? It's a worthless watch. The Rolex Explorer is an absolute garbage watch. It's a mark of a peasant. It means you drank the Kool-Aid, you watch these bark and jerk off videos, or who's the other guy? I mean, listen, every dirty Sanchez mustache guy, every guy who drinks coffee on YouTube who like talks about drinking coffee, you talk the bark and jack off. What's his name? The Urban Gentry jerk off. I think he retired or whatever. You got a bunch of these other jerk offs that all have that Explorer. It's a piece of garbage, guys. Do not buy that watch. Now, if you need to have. By the way, this guy this guy doesn't go anywhere out of the country. What is it? What time zone does he need to know? He needs to know the time zone in New York. It's 3 hours. You can do the math. He doesn't need. Listen, I don't need to know the time in New York. I'm on the West Coast. I do business on East Coast time. I don't need to know. I don't need to use the GMT. I do like to have a dual time watch to know the time in Europe because it gets a little complicated. 6 hours back, whatever. It's different. You don't need to. This guy doesn't go anywhere. He's a fucking typical American. He doesn't go anywhere. He's got a GMT for what? Because it looks cool. Anyway, he's got all the wrong watches here. This is but it's not horrible. He went from something horrible to mediocre. I mean, look, this is basically a collection of mediocrity, and this is what happens when you drink the ArchieLuxury Kool-Aid. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's what happens. He, he thinks he knows everything. He drank the. Listen, the guy's he's a newbie. Listen, I got to give the guy a break. He's a newbie. He's new to the hobby. Actually, he's not that new. He's actually been buying watches, I think, for a while. He's actually been buying watches for 6, 7 years, maybe. I think. But he's been able to buy watches from at ADs at retail. Now he's showing you this, whatever. So what is he showing? This garbage? Oh, anyway, they gave him a winder. He's all happy. I mean, this guy got his clock cleaned by Happy Jewelers. But actually, no, I shouldn't say that. Look at this. You got a guy. Look at this. Look at this line. You got a guy with a fan spinning. So, I mean, who the fuck has a ceiling? You got a guy with a low budget ceiling fan. You got guys with baseball caps. That's who Kelso is taking. And you got a guy with a dirty Sanchez mustache. That's half on Smash. That's who this guy at the bottom is taking advice from. But listen, he thinks he knows better. That's what happens with these tomato cans. Look, he's going to come around to it in a couple of years. He's going to learn. He's going to take a hit. And, all these guys will really, because look, I'm very far at it. Look, if you watch my videos from years back, look who's in the, look at the people. Look at the troglodytes who are part of this. Look, this is who he's getting advice from. He's got some guy from the what's that backwoods movie about the backwoods guys got kidnapped and what I'm talking about, the movie from the 70s, Squeal Like a Pig, So yeah, so that's, I mean, this is what he's taking. This is the Keslowitz brain trust. This is the brain trust that this tomato can takes advice from, and he ends up with shitters. Now, what is this? I don't even know what these are. What the fuck is this? Yeah, actually, I don't know, some vintage weird shit. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna really. I don't know. I can't watch this. This is like, what the fuck is this? Whatever. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck is going on there. I don't know. Hey, listen, it makes him happy, whatever. But this is the brain trust. This is the brain trust of Kelslowitz. This is what this guy. This is who he's taking advice from. And look at this. He's showing me the JJ Watch Hangout. He's promoting the thing. I gotta get one of these little business cards. It's actually kind of cool. I gotta get one of those. This is JJ. This tomato can is this Bukyak is look at it. Everybody's congratulating. Oh, what? Oh, congratulations. Oh, great. Very. These guys don't know anything. They don't know any better. I mean, they don't know anything. All they know is that this guy bought an expensive watch. That's all they know. They think, oh shit. This guy bought like a 50, it's like a 60, it's like a $54,000 watch, right? Yeah, listen, the 5496R, to be honest, that's the watch you should have gotten, okay? If he really needs to have that stupid big watch, he could have gotten the Patek 5496R, which yours truly had, of course. Wait, no, I'm sorry. No. Hey, I'm sorry. I had the 50. I got my references all mixed up. I had the 53. You're talking about this watch, yeah. This watch is actually, again, if you need to have that big watch, I mean, this platinum is a cool watch. I mean, like, you're never gonna. This watch will. It's a little funny looking, to be honest. It's a little bit funny looking. But this combination, I believe, is going to stand the test of time and increase in value. I don't like it. I mean, like, personally, but it's very unique. It's got the retrograde calendar, which is, that's unique. And it is a stunning contrast. Looks like that day window is stuck. Oh shit, something's going on here. Yeah, this thing is not registering. See, look at that. See, that hand should be right on that 12. And it's not. Excuse me, not the 12, the 11. On the 11. It should be right in the middle of those two, and it's not. I don't know what's something is off with this watch. This watch, like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this it's not bad. I mean, if you got to have a big watch, yeah, I get it. You know, I here's the thing though. I don't know why this guy had to be like. I think what happened was I kind of feel bad for him. Probably what happened was, he was watching my videos and he was feeling inadequate. He was feeling inadequate. He got mind fucked. Kelso got mind fucked, and that's what happened. He got mind fucked. I'm sorry. Hang on a second. Yeah, that's what we're showing, right? That's the 5496R. Yeah. I think that's actually the better watch. Okay, if I had to choose between the two, if I had to choose between those two that you were talking, like, whoa, platinum, 57 Gs. Okay, see, this one is right inside that. Yeah, the other watch was not registered. Okay, so yeah, you can probably get this. I bet. Hang on, low to high. I bet you can get these much, much cheaper. So the platinum is 57 grand. Okay, so it's only what low 50s. Again, this is the stunner here. This is the stunner. This is going to increase in value. This unusual combination. Not this watch. This watch has a problem on it. You see, again, I was pointing this. Look at this. The hand is not right. It's not set up properly. It's like it should be right in the middle of those 11, and it's not. Look at the Friday. It's like all. It's like that's like an ArchieLuxury watch. This is what ArchieLuxury would buy. A watch that's a compromise. It's got problems. Yeah. Yeah, these are actually kind of cool. These are actually kind of cool. Because it does harken back to that classical design of that, that early one. What is it? Is it the 3450? Oh, Jesus. 3450? Yeah. Yeah, it harkens back to that classical design of the perpetual, but with the added complication of the retrograde. I get it. It's like a Bill Sanders watch, that watch art saga. It's a little bit too much horology for my taste. You know what I mean? A little too much. A little too busy. The second hand is no purpose for, but it is a big watch if you're feeling inadequate. But look, what happened was Kelso was feeling inadequate because he saw that the Colonel had the perpetual calendar. He saw the perpetual 3940G, the top G perpetual, and that's what happens with these guys is they get all mind fucked, and young Kelso ended up he had to get the 3940. That's what happened. He had to get it out of his system. Now, let me show you guys the proper watch, just so you know. I'll show you just a second here. Hang on a second. Hang on. Let me just show you the proper watch. Okay. So this is the proper watch here. Watch and learn, young Kelso. Watch and learn. Now, I know the guys in LA, you want to keep it casual. Yeah, you can put this watch on a casual strap. I have it on this kind of taupe gray strap, crocodile. You could put it on a suede, whatever, and you can go yellow gold, which is actually a good look. And that's the top of G, baby. That is the top of G. See, young Kelso, that is the watch that you, my friend. Sadly, you will never possess a watch like this because your brain is fried from the drinking the Archie juice. You're drinking that Archie Kool-Aid. And you know what happened to the Kool-Aid drinkers in Guyana, right? from that. That was the what is it called? That what the hell was it called? Yeah, the Jim Jones. Jim Jones, baby. Jim Jones. Jim Jones. Look at this. This is a proper 3940, right? Proper 3940. We got the Porsche Cayenne Turbo, excuse me, not the Turbo. Chocolate with the bronze exterior with a nice brown leather interior with a suede headliner, ultra suede. Sadly, the car got some damage, wind damage, and was sold off. I don't really like the. Actually, Porsche Cayenne is not really for me. Very uncomfortable on long rides, so it's a hard pass on the Cayenne. I'm not a Porsche guy. I think Porsche people are kind of losers. I mean, they're like, what the fuck? I mean, I get it. Like, you know, it's a very, they last a long time. If you can put up with like having like a lawnmower, that lawnmower sound, that rattling, that vibration, you know, on that 911, I get it, but it's not my taste. I need something a little more refined. You know what I mean, guys? So, yeah. No. That's the actually, yeah. Sorry, that is the Porsche Cayenne. You know, I sold that car to Carvana. Actually, Carvana paid me the top dollar. Carvana, thumbs up to Carvana. Jimmy Savile. So this guy Yuri actually knows his he knows his celebrity. So on the thumbnail of this video, we have a gentleman named Jimmy Savile, who a famous English gentleman. You should Google him. You know, it's a little bit like you know, some of the people in the watch colony. He's got the same sexual predilections as some of the watch colony folks. You know, and yes. Anyway, there you go, young Kelso. Watch and learn. This is the proper best of breed Patek Philippe. You got you know, the elegance, complication. This is the watch. That's why this watch is increasing in value by the day. It's increasing in value by the day, while your piece of shit with the syringe hands is dropping a little more, as you know, a certain crayon eater in Florida would say. All right, guys, make sure we gotta get some super chats. Yeah, I'm very annoyed that we're not getting super chats. This channel costs millions of dollars a year to run, and yeah, we better get some super chats. Otherwise, you know, we're going to what are we gonna do? By the way, guys, the weekly newsletter. I'm going to show you a quick snapshot. Actually, hang on a second. I'm going to show you the weekly newsletter. A lot of you peasants, a lot of you deadbeats, you're not worthy. You're not worthy of. You're not worthy of getting the type of information that we have in our free weekly newsletter. Okay, you're not. But if you were, you would be subscribing. Now, on the hang on a second, let me pop back here. So on the right, we got a quick little snapshot. Actually, in that newsletter, we were talking about Patek Perpetual. He could have bought that watch for like 40 grand. Yeah. Yeah, 49 grand. Platinum with a blue dial. Click the link in the video description below to get our free weekly newsletter. That's right. Click the link to get the free weekly newsletter, and you won't make deadly mistakes like the tomato can Kelso. That's what happens. That's what happens. Guys, how many times do I need to explain? All right, listen, I had enough of you. Leave your nasty, vicious comments below. Send money now.